Fiveish Fangirls, I love you, and I'm one of the Fiveish. In fact, I'm the biggest one of the Fiveish. I am the Sixth Doctor Colin Baker, and I wish you all well. Have fun.
The tangents we continue all the way to episode 215 of the Fiveish Fangirls podcast, and we're going to get a little real this week, just for a moment. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. So glad you joined us. Let's start off like we do every week. We're on the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Bethlehem.
This is Sally from Wisconsin.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Although at the moment, Holly has temporarily been relocated to Hoth.
Yes, exactly. And I am side-eyeing a certain little rodent
Yeah.
as well. Are you trying to tell me something 2 weeks, about a week early?
Yeah.
If so, we can keep having words.
Yeah. Call it Bill Murray. Say hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
Need
yeah,
some
that's coming up,
assistance
isn't
here.
it?
Certain ground dwelling hog.
Yes. And I'm not talking Caddyshack.
Yep. So I'd like to apologize in advance for any weird noises that may come from any of us.
Mhm.
But Mother
Jeez.
Nature is not being kind to any of us. My
No.
face and my sinuses, I feel like John Hurt in Alien. And except it's not going to burst out of my chest, it's going to burst out of the sinuses in the front of my head.
Yeah. Mother Nature has had some erratic weather choices for
Oh my goodness.
our
Yeah.
little region.
Pick a lane and stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anyway, news. Let's get on to the news. We've got some good, fun news to talk about this week, too,
Yes.
after some
Yay.
slow news weeks. So, first up, some convention announcements, because it's that time of year. So, Salt Lake FanX is still making their guest announcements, because their event's not till April, so why not? So, recently, they have announced Warwick Davis, who's in everything. Pick a fandom. He's been in it. He's been in Doctor Who. He's been in Star Wars. He's been in Harry Potter.
Yes. He's had his own lead in a movie. Willow.
So,
Yes.
pick a fandom. He's probably been in it. You may not recognize him, but he's been in it. Oh. And then Palm Clementif.
There you go. Good job.
PopCon last year. Well, she was at PopCon last year. I've met her, so I would hope I know how to say her name.
That's right. I forgot you met her.
Yes. AKA Mantis is also going to be at FanX, so that's exciting. So, which FanX is right before Endgame comes out, so I think so. That'll be interesting. I'm sure she's gonna have to try very hard to keep her mouth shut. And then David Bradley, who also
everything.
multiple fandoms: Game of Thrones, Doctor Who. So Doctor Who more than once.
I was gonna say he played. Not only he played characters in Doctor Who, he played a doctor.
Yeah, well, and he played the
Actor
person
of the
playing
Doctor.
the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very meta. Not only has he played the Doctor, he's played the person who played the Doctor.
Yep.
Playing the Doctor.
Only in Doctor Who does that make sense.
Yes. So those are some pretty awesome guests.
Yes.
But he's also in MCU too. He's been
Yep.
in MCU. I don't remember.
He was very blink and you miss him, but yes, he was in Captain America. So very awesome. And then PopCon Indy PopCon. Now I have to specify when I say PopCon which city. Now that it's no longer just Indy, so PopCon Indy coming up in June. Tickets on sale. Go get them. Come enjoy the fun. They have announced some guests. One of them is a video game voiceover actress, and I have no idea who she is. Sorry. But these two, I'm very excited. These were ones I knew this announcement was coming. So, but it's exciting to see it actually official now that they were coming. But we get a nice pair from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this year. So in the form of Mac and Yo-Yo. Henry Simmons and Natalia Cordova-Buckley are coming to Indy. No word yet. I asked Carl, and he could not confirm nor deny if Henry would be bringing the shotgun axe.
Oh, fingers crossed.
So, fingers crossed he does bring the shotgun axe, because that would be awesome prop to go in the photo op.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'll say
that's
someone
not
make
cool,
one, but that they might not allow someone to bring one.
Yeah.
Like slowly bringing the cast to you.
Oh yes.
Like last year was Gemma, and now
Yep. Now we get Mac and Yo-Yo.
Woohoo.
I can't just imagine if Coulson comes.
Oh. Believe me, I've asked.
I'm gonna every.
Could we get
opportunity
Clark
you
Gregg,
had.
please? Thank you. Awesome. That would be awesome. I would die.
And Lola.
Yeah. Can we bring Lola too? Can we get that as a package deal?
Mm-hmm.
They're just
Photo ops.
pop up Lola.
Yeah.
Photo op of Lola.
Which means that my I Heart Coulson shirt will be have to be coming out of the closet again for the photo op. Because I'm not likely to get my Quake cosplay done anytime soon. So, but that's okay. So that's very exciting. I'm very excited for PopCon, and then there's more guest announcements coming. I know some more that are coming that are like Carl's like, yeah, we got this person and this person last time I saw him. I'm like, I don't know who that is. He's like, really? I'm like, I don't know. Sorry. So I'm sure other people will be excited for some of the other guest announcements that are coming. But at the moment, I'm like, yay, Mac and Yo-Yo. So, and speaking of Mac and Yo-Yo and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yes.
thank you, Marvel and ABC, for today dropping a teaser for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 6. So, which is full of all sorts of feels. Oh my goodness.
Holy crap, what did we just see?
Yeah. So, because it was like at the beginning, it's like Coulson speaking of Mac, because Mac is now in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. That'll be fun to talk to Henry about. But it's like Mac is now in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we see Coulson, but it's just, a hologram, holographic message. But then this whole thing with the team is going to be going and looking for the frozen Fitz, or the Fitsicle, as he's been lovingly called since last season. Fitsicle, trying to go find him. But then this is there's these group of crazy bad guys, we can assume, that are up to no good, started making trouble in the neighborhood. Sorry. You just, it's the lyrics are there. I gotta go with it. So we're not in the town called Bel Air, though. And this whole thing is like, how is the team gonna go on now that Coulson is dead? But then we see the good news is Coulson, as far as we know, may be dead, but it's not the end of seeing Clark Gregg on the show, which is good. So we have Clark Gregg playing someone.
Well, somebody was saying their theory is he's going to come back as a Skrull Coulson.
That could be. Who knows? Maybe the Coulson that died was the Skrull Coulson. That would be nice.
Ooh, I like that theory. Well, he ran through so many hands. Hey, I'll buy that theory.
Yeah. Like I would take. Does that mean the real Coulson is still alive somewhere? Or we killed off the non-Earthling Coulson? I had to copy and paste this, put this in the show notes because, of course, people's comments on YouTube, and of course this is Marvel, so it's a comic book universe, and death when it comes to comic books really doesn't mean diddly squat. So this person's comment was like, is he dead though? Is he really like dead, or just dead? Or like comic book sci-fi TV show dead? Is this his second or third death? Fourth? So like dead, but not dead, but definitely dead?
Or slightly dead?
Slightly dead. Maybe he's more Monty Python. He's not dead yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What did Talbot say last season? Coulson's died more times, or
Yeah, he's like, he died more than anyone else I know. That is true. Who's died more, Coulson or Loki?
Ooh. We have to see if Loki is actually dead.
Well, Coulson supposedly is dead too. So let's see. So Loki's on death number 3, and Coulson is on what, death number 3 ish. So.
Ooh, something just popped into my head. What if Loki and Coulson are somehow connected?
I was actually
via their deaths.
Well, considering Loki was the one who killed Coulson in the first place.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know. I just want Coulson to come back.
Yes, I think.
I'll take Clark Gregg however I can get him, as long as Clark Gregg stays on the show, because he's awesome. But I love Coulson. Coulson's one of my absolute favorite Marvel characters in the entire MCU, which is crazy considering they made him up. He's not from the comics.
I was gonna say he started out as just like
a random Shield agent.
Minutes in post Iron Man.
Yeah,
he bumped into Pepper.
Yeah. I love Coulson. There's just something about him. He's just so cool. And Clark Gregg just plays him so well, and the evolution of Coulson has just been fun to watch, and I just don't want to see it end, which is why I'm glad he's going to be in Captain Marvel. Like Captain Marvel, she looks pretty badass, and she's got a cool cat, and yay, Nick Fury's got 2 eyes, but Coulson's going to be back on the big screen in the MCU. I'm more excited about that.
I don't even know like how big of a part he's in it though, or do we? I haven't.
We don't really, because he's not really been in a lot of the promotional stuff. So it's been mostly Captain Marvel and Nick Fury and the cat. And Goose. So Coulson's not really made a whole lot of appearances in the trailers and stuff. He's got a character poster, but other than that, so we'll see.
We'll find out in not that much longer.
Yeah, all over a month. So. All right. So moving on to, I didn't even know this was a thing, but now I know that it's a thing. I'm really excited about this because I'm in the middle of my annual Lord of the Rings box set rewatch.
Yeah, I'm surprised because like they said they announced in 2013. This would have been something I thought I would have heard of, but apparently not.
So
but yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah, but apparently there is a movie, a biopic coming out about J.R.R. Tolkien. And the star, Nicholas Holt, has posted images from the movie, I guess, on his Instagram, I think. His social medias, one of his social medias. Apparently, the movie was first announced in 2013, but it didn't really kick off production until 2017. But now it is being finished, and it's supposed to be released in theaters on May 10th. And apparently it is supposed to take place in the early 20th century, and will show his experiences in World War One, and that helped influence the creation of Middle Earth. Lily Collins is playing Tolkien's longtime love. So that's pretty cool. No, like I said, I did not know that was a thing, but now that it is, I'm gonna go see it.
Same here.
So.
Comes out May 10th, I thought I saw.
Yeah. Although I don't know if that's worldwide or if it could be Europe, although we tend, maybe. So. Watch your local theater times and listing. So.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it won't be just like limited theater.
Hopefully not. So.
I mean, Tolkien and like the whole Middle Earth is so popular. I don't see why they would.
Yeah. Hopefully. That's very cool. All right. And then award season.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the thick of it. So the SAG Awards were yesterday. That's Screen Actors Guild Awards, for those who not know their abbreviations. So theirs are kind of like they do TV and movie.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. Notable winners include outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role. That went to Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yay!
Outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role went to Glenn Close. So, as we were saying before we started recording, it's not looking very favorable for Lady Gaga to win that Oscar.
Or Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
The way things have been
That's
going.
okay. Lady Gaga's young. She's got a full career ahead of her. But right now, Glenn Close she's gone from dark horse to front runner she's been picking up the awards at everything. So, let's see. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role went to Mahershala Ali for Green Book.
I want to see that. It looks good.
Yeah. Female actor in a supporting role went to Emily Blunt for A Quiet Place. So let's see. Outstanding performance by they don't do like Best Picture for the SAG Awards. They do outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. Went to Black Panther.
Yay!
And for those wondering, yes, Bohemian Rhapsody was nominated for this one as well.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
Bunch of TV, which nothing that we really care about. One.
Most of these I haven't even heard of.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah, I would say most of these I've heard of, but I haven't watched. Ozark is on Netflix, which again tells you something about these TV winners that aren't on like network television. Um,
I know the
Killing Eve is a BBC production. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is on Amazon Prime or Amazon streaming. So Glow is on Netflix.
Yep.
Because the only really rental, at least that I know of, This Is Us, that's NBC.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and then they give an award for outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture, and that also went to Black Panther.
Yeah.
I love how both the cast and the stunts.
Yep.
Well deserved on both parts. So.
Yeah.
Oh. And then we got the nominations for the Big Daddy, the Oscars, the Academy Awards. Those nominations were announced last week. And for once, I'm not, looking at the list and going, hey, I've actually seen that. And it's not just in the technical categories. So obviously, the technical categories, a lot of the stuff that we tend to enjoy and talk about got nominated. Infinity War, let's see, visual effects, Avengers Infinity War, Christopher Robin, Ready Player One, Solo, a Star Wars Story, sound editing, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody. So costume design, Black Panther, Mary Poppins Returns, sound mixing, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, production design, Black Panther, Mary Poppins Returns, ones like that. Animated short film, Bow, which was the Pixar short before Incredibles 2. So
animated feature Incredibles 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yep. Which normally you would think that when it comes to animated feature, Disney is almost always the front runner. So you could say it could be a toss-up between Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet. But honestly, I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse will probably win it. And not just because it's been winning at everything else. Just the if you compare the what's the word I'm looking for? Just how different it is animation wise and how innovative it is compared to the Disney stuff. So not that I don't love Disney, but it's just the Into the Spider-Verse is just so different than everything else that it's just I would be really surprised if it did not win for Best Animated Feature.
And it's nice to see some fresh blood too in the production.
Yeah. Original score, Black Panther, Mary Poppins Returns, of course. Original song, All the Stars from Black Panther. The Place Where Lost Things Go from Mary Poppins Returns. Shallow from A Star Is Born, which Lady Gaga may end up winning herself an Oscar there.
Yeah.
For Best Original Song. So, because she does have songwriting credit on that. So
it looks like she and Bradley Cooper kind of did a dry run through on her Vegas residency a couple nights ago.
Yeah. But nothing super. We'll get to the bigger. We'll get to the bigger categories here in a second. But I do want to say that honestly, my biggest complaint with the Oscar nominations is that the Mr. Rogers documentary did not get nominated for Best Feature-Length Documentary. Won't You Be My Neighbor got screwed.
Yes.
Which I'm surprised.
It was eligible. It was on the short list because they make those lists public. The what can be voted on to get to the final nominations, and it was on there, but for whatever reason, it did not get the final cut for nominations, which bad Academy, bad.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
how's it,
for
like,
you.
I don't think I've even heard of the other ones.
I've heard of RBG. That's about the only one that I know of.
Yeah.
Because that's about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one.
Not to be confused with On a Basis of Sex, which is the Ruth Bader Ginsburg biopic.
Yes.
So, and then of course, you've got the big categories: adapted screenplay, original screenplay. What's interesting is, well, we'll get to that. Directing. There's some nothing I don't think really surprising there. And then of course the actors are leading and supporting roles. Actor in supporting role: Mahershala Ali, Adam Driver for Black Klansman, Sam Elliott for Stars Born, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, Sam Rockwell for Vice, which I've seen Vice. I considering Sam Rockwell doesn't even come into the movie till about halfway through. I mean, I guess technically that's still a supporting role. That would not make him a leading role, but still, it's just the amount of screen time that he gets is just. I guess I got to give it to somebody, and the movie's about Dick Cheney. I guess if you're going to give a supporting acting nod, you're going to give it to the guy that plays, the president.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Rockwell, he did okay. He definitely, the way that George W. Bush is portrayed is, well, really the entire film. Anybody we're not going to get political here. This is purely just, the way I saw the movie and the way I interpreted it is the movie is not favorable to anybody who's a Republican.
Pretty much.
It doesn't paint them in a very positive light. And Sam Rockwell's George W. Bush is pretty much an idiot in this movie. So I know they're going to take some artistic liberties, even with people that are living. But it's not, if you're a staunch Republican, you're not going to like this movie. Unless you did not like that administration. So I'll just leave it at that. No. Actress in a supporting role: Amy Adams for Vice, Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk, Emma Stone, and Rachel Weisz both for The Favorite, which Emma Stone has an Oscar, right? Didn't she win? Did she win for La La Land?
I think she did.
Okay.
I don't remember.
No. Oh. Regina King's been she's been the one winning them, so, but you never know. That could be a toss up in that category. Leading actress: Glenn Close, Olivia Colman, Lady Gaga, Melissa McCarthy, and I don't want to butcher this lady's name. I'm so sorry. Yalitza Aparicio, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then actor in leading role: Christian Bale for Vice, Bradley Cooper for Star is Born, William Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. And odds are Rami Malek is probably going to walk away with the Oscar if previous other award ceremonies are any indication. But you never know. And then Best Picture: Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. So, which is really interesting that Roma is nominated for both Best Picture and Best Foreign Language Film.
I don't really pay attention, but has that happened before?
I don't know, but I found it kind of funny or coincidental, I guess. But I may have in the past, but someone who knows more about Oscar history could probably tell me. But
Hey,
we can't say
Sean.
for certain. We can't say for certain that Black Panther's nomination for Best Picture is history making because it is the first comic book movie to be nominated for Best Picture. So, which is
Oscars
rather
don't
exciting.
have a host?
No.
No.
They had a host and then he quit.
Yeah.
And they have not replaced him yet. So, and I don't know if they will. They may just do like a barrage of celebrities, probably.
Which might not necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure that the Muppets are available. So.
Hey, what about Weird Al? I'm sure he could.
Yeah. There you go. Weird Al. What's he doing? I'll host. I don't know the first thing about a whole lot of things, but why not? I can't do any worse than some other people have in the past. Just don't ask me to wear heels. As long as I can get away with wearing flats, we'll be fine.
Yeah. What do you think Billy Crystal would come out of retirement?
Yeah. He's done it. Been there, done that. I'm sure he doesn't want to be the fallback person every time that they can't get a host.
True.
Just have Ellen do it again. Just make sure that they've upped the pizza budget.
Yeah.
No. But for once, I can actually look at like the best picture list, and at this point, I've actually seen 3 of the nominees, which is a lot for me.
I've seen one and want to see 3 others. 4 maybe. I'm kind of iffy about Vice. Like, I kind of want to see it, but I'm not entirely sure.
No. Well, and if you a lot of these are out depending when they were released. Like Roma's on Netflix, which is interesting.
Yep. Bull Rap's on digital right now with physical release and a couple of
Stars Born is out on digital release. It's not on DVD yet. Black Panther's obviously it's been out on DVD for a while. So
funny, a
lot of them are also going to be if they weren't in theaters, because I think Vice is still in theaters, maybe still. A lot of them are being re-released. Like a lot of the big movie chains, like I know AMC, they'll do like almost like a that's the word I'm looking for. Like festival type thing where they'll release all the best picture nominees and you can go and see them on the big screen if you didn't get a chance the first time around. So I think I'm going to go see A Star is Born at some point. So
I think I read that the Black Panther is going to be in theaters next month for I just had it. For I think African American history.
Yeah. So
I think
between now and when the Oscars are at the end of February.
Sure.
Yeah.
I honestly know next to nothing about Oscars.
Yeah. Well, I don't normally keep up abreast on them because a lot of times the stuff that I like doesn't get recognition, but this time around it's like, hey, I actually have horses in some of these races. So, and the good news is a lot of these horses have been winning leading up to the Derby here. So for once, I'm actually somewhat emotionally invested. So it would be hilarious to see Black Panther surprise everybody and win for Best Picture, but it'll probably go to Bohemian Rhapsody.
That wouldn't be a
But
bad show.
stranger things have happened as as far as announcing winners. As far as winners for the Oscars have gone, just don't let Warren Beatty anywhere near the envelopes, and we'll be fine. So that's where we're at as far as award season. So the BAFTAs are in a couple weeks. So they're kind of like the last big ones before the Oscars. So even though that's a British Film Awards, but still a lot of the same stuff gets recognized across the pond as it does here. So we'll see if Rami Malek can continue the trend, and if Glenn Close continues her trend as well.
Yep.
So that is it for the news. So a little bit of housekeeping real quick. So we're coming up on the end of the month. So that means book club.
Yep, got a few days left. And let me double check. The last time I looked, the tie had been broken.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, has the tie been broken yet?
Yes, it has, but I am checking right now to see if that whole it logged me out. Just give me a second here.
We had a tie, and the tie was broken.
Yep.
It could be back to a tie.
I'm hoping
One
it
could have taken off.
Yep. Hold on, just a second. Okay, yep, tie has been broken. The book right now that's in the lead is The Good Doctor.
Not to be confused with the TV show.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you for...
I just had to say it, sorry.
Nope. I got the reference.
I just did that reference. So get on it. All right. Let's move on to our main topic this week. So since things are still kind of quiet as far as movie releases and TV shows coming back and all that, we're still technically in January as of recording this. This has been the most January-est January in recent memories. I swear this month has been like a year long, it feels like.
I was going to say, it's been a long January.
Oh, bye.
I feel like New Year's was months ago.
Yeah, really. It's like my birthday's in 3 weeks, but is it really 3 weeks? Because it feels like it's like 3 years from now.
Watch the rest of the year just go by like super fast.
It will. Once we get out of January, it's like off and gone. Oh, but since the year has started, other than our Doctor Who episode, we've really been taking time to look back at 2018, and this week is not going to be really a whole lot different, other than we're narrowing the scope to we're just going to be talking about us, the show, how our 2018 went, and looking a little bit forward to 2019 as far as the show is concerned. I know we discuss every now and then, things about the podcast, but I thought it would be maybe a good time, coming out of the previous year, going into a new one, to get a bit more, I guess, open and real with our listeners. as far as the show, our plans, our hopes, our dreams, that sort of thing. So that because we don't ever want to hide anything from you guys, and I hope nobody ever thinks that we're doing that. But I think a bit more transparency may do us all a bit of good. Just kind of lay the cards there out on the table and be like, this is what we want, and hopefully our listeners would be like, I'm on board for that, and if you can help, even better. We'll get to that. So, looking back at 2018, just some statistics, I guess. I really, if I had more time, I would have figured out like data wise how much this added up. But I didn't have the time to do that because I'm sure that would kind of probably blow our minds, just like the file sizes of all these episodes put together. It's like, how much data did we generate last year? So that being said, in 2018, we released 47 episodes. So 43 of those were just regular episodes, and then there were 4 bonus episodes, our little extra squeeze, as we like to call them, including interviews and demos from Gen Con last year, my panel from the Women in Podcasting Festival, our Stan Lee retrospective, and Brandon and I's live Doctor Who / other tangential discussions from PopCon Fort Wayne. And then we had a lot of guests on the show last year too, which is when writing it all down, it's kind of crazy because it's like, because that was again, transparency. My goal going into 2018 was I wanted us to have more guests, whether it was friends of ours coming on, people we already knew, or having people we did not know, reaching out to whoever. And I think we accomplished that.
Yes, I think we did.
So, and also trying to get more content when going to events, conventions and that sort of thing. Which for me, considering I'm the person that does most of the convention coverage, which I do not mind at all. I'm very fortunate that I have a job that allows me the flexibility to be able to go to these things, but it's one thing to go and socialize with people I already know. It's another to go to these conventions with my little recorder and, put on my big girl pants and walk up to someone and say, hi, my name is Rachel from the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. Can I interview you? So
yeah, even if I was going to conventions, I couldn't be doing that anytime soon.
Yeah, it's definitely made me come out of my comfort zone as far as going to conventions. So, but we had Kevin from the True North Nerds, which I already knew Kevin, so it wasn't nearly as awkward. But we had him on twice last year. He was on episode 176 and episode 184. And we had Chris and Albie from the Quantum Leap podcast, which I knew of them, but I did not know them. Well, no, I was Facebook friends with Albie before that. But we did not really know each other. And then I knew of Chris. And they were both on episode 182. Cullen from Cult Cinema Cavalcade, who I've known for what seems like forever, was on episode 184. Carl from PopCon, he was on episode 185. And then convention interviews. I talked to Ross Mullen, who has been on Game of Thrones and Doctor Who. I talked to him at PopCon. Greg Nowling, who I've known for a while, who does Signing Away Hunger. I interviewed him at PopCon, and then Peter Spellows. I also interviewed him at PopCon as well. And you can hear those interviews on episode 189. I forgot to add one to this list too. Although I guess technically that episode came out in 2019. The interview happened in 2018.
I know exactly which one you were
Yes.
referencing. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 2018 it got taped. It didn't get
Released
until
until 2019.
2019. Yeah.
So, we had Rob from Southgate Media Group, Chris, who owns the Blue Box Cafe, which is a Doctor Who themed cafe and restaurant, which I really need to go visit. I say that every time it gets brought up. And then Sean, who we've had on seems like a bazillion times, Traveling the Vortex. They were all on episode 190, which was our armchair con chair episode where we dreamed up our dream convention. Aaron from the Indie Disney Meet came on again. We've had him on previously to talk about the Indie Disney Meet. Beth from the Crafty Nerd was on again, this time to talk about Gen Con, which was episode 197. Sean for Traveling the Vortex was on again on our big episode 200. Celebrate our 200th anniversary. Episode 204, we had Jacob, aka the Carpetbagger, on, which was quite fun. And then episode 206, we had my husband Chauncey on. He's another one that's been on quite a bit. And then his friend Matt were on episode 206, where we talked about their student film, Weekend Assignment. And then the one that I did not list, because it depends on whether you consider when it was released or when it was recorded. But my interview from PopCon Fort Wayne with Barry Bostwick, it was recorded in 2018, but did not get released until 2019. So that was the first episode of this year. So that's a lot of people.
Yes.
And we're very, very fortunate and very thankful to everyone who has ever come on, has agreed to come on or agreed to talk to me when I quarter them at a convention. And hopefully this year is just the same, if not more. So we do have, I am working on more guests for this year. We'll probably have some repeats, again, based on certain topics that are happening, Marvel and Star Wars, that sort of thing. We have some go-to folks that we like having on discussing those things. So, that being said, one of our biggest things for 2019, and it's not necessarily something that we'd like to check off in 2019, but it's definitely something that we want to get the ball rolling in 2019. And I'm probably going to end up doing a blog post to go with this too. But we had a discussion after recording last week's episode, and we really enjoy doing this show. We would not be sitting here almost 5 years later
Right.
200 plus episodes, doing 40 plus episodes a year, plus all the convention coverage and, organizing, sending out emails and messages to people to get guests on and that sort of thing. If we did not enjoy this, and we're not going to stop doing this as long as we continue to enjoy it. That being said, almost 5 years, over 200 episodes later, we've all reached the same kind of mental consensus that, dag nabbit, we all need to meet.
Yes.
Yes.
Like you've said, Rachel, when you've told people, how many episodes and that we haven't met yet.
Yes. I get some very strange looks from people. And it's like, really? You've not met each other? How has that happened? Like, life. Life has just kept us from being in the same place at the same time. Obviously, we've had there's some exceptions to that rule. Brittany has met Chrissy. She went to Chrissy's wedding reception. Yep. And then Brittany met Mitch, but at this point, Mitch, she's on hiatus from the show until an indeterminate amount, whenever, when and if she ever decides she wants to come back, her spot's always open if she ever decides to come back. She was one of the founding members of this podcast. We're not going to be like, forget she ever existed. But that being said, since, she has stepped away from the show, this discussion really does not include her, and these plans really do not include her. And, that's totally her decision to step away. Life, it's a thing. We all have our own battles and things that we need to deal with. So, but we're going to keep moving on without her. We don't have plans to replace her. But at the same time, we are continuing on, and obviously we have continued on without her and make plans without her involvement. But she's always there as one of the founding fathers, founding fangirls.
Yes, there we go.
Take that, Alexander Hamilton. Lin-Manuel Miranda ain't got nothing on us. But we were discussing it, and just kind of started brainstorming. How can we make this happen? And honestly, we're all kind of stuck. The biggest thing is money. Is really that's really the biggest hindrance of why none of us have not met. We're very fortunate that the podcast is able to continue with monetary support from Patreon and mostly my husband.
Thank
you, honey. Thank you very much. So we don't have a lot of overhead as far as the podcast is concerned. We have the monthly uploads to Libsyn, which Chauncey bankrolls that for most of it. I do pay for some of it out of my own pocket. And then our domain is a yearly fee, so that we own the FiveishFangirls.com. That domain name. And other than that, we really do not have any expenses, which is good because we're not really making any money doing the show. We get some support on Patreon, which helps. But really that money, since we started our Patreon, and we started our Patreon within the first 6 months of us, I think, doing the show.
It was relatively new.
Yeah.
Still relatively new.
Yeah. That money has not been touched. it's still sitting in Patreon, just sitting there.
But
And every
we
month,
can't collect interest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
That would be nice. Unfortunately, Patreon doesn't work like that. I mean, I could take that money out and stick it in a bank account where potentially collect interest, but I don't really want to necessarily do that because it's not a huge sum anyway. And then we've gotten some money from people using our Amazon affiliate link. Again, it's not a huge windfall because we're getting like 1, maybe 2. I think it's like 1 to 2% on most purchases, I think, which is not a lot. And then our sales of merch, we get some commission from that, which we've made a little bit from that. So the Patreon sits in Patreon. Everything else, Amazon, and any commissions from merchandise sales come directly to me because I was the one that set that all up. I've got all that set aside, so for the most part, that has not been touched either. I did use some of it to pay for the shipping for when we did our giveaway for our game giveaway with the prizes from USAopoly, because they paid for the shipping to send the prizes to me.
Yes.
But
and thank
to send
you
them
again,
out
USAopoly, for
Yes.
doing that.
Yes, very much so. But to send them to the winners, they did need to be shipped, and the shipping did need to be paid for. So thankfully, from our listeners' financial support from some of those other things, there was enough to cover that. And then there's still some left over, and then we've sold some merch since then. All the merch we've sold has been to ourselves. But still,
I was gonna say I just bought 2 things today.
Yeah, it's like Chrissy's bought something, I bought something. I need to buy some more now that eventually warm weather will be coming. So I need to buy some more warmer weather apparel, and probably some stickers. So we've got some of that too, but it's not enough to get it'd be enough to buy us all like dinner at McDonald's. maybe something nicer. Maybe we can go to Arby's. If we budget carefully, maybe TGI Fridays or Applebee's. But it's not enough to get us all in the same place at the same time unless we all started walking. So if we were closer geographically, it would make things easier. Because like Holly, it's a bit of a drive, but technically you're within driving distance of me.
Yes.
Brittany, not so much. If you were on the other side of Pennsylvania,
I was gonna say,
if you were closer to
one state
Pittsburgh,
away.
it would be much more reasonable. But since you're pretty much in New Jersey still,
Yeah. and
it's not really within driving distance. And Chrissy is, she's in the middle of nowhere.
She's all the way out in Utah.
Yes. I mean, Salt Lake City is a decent sized city, but it is in the middle of nowhere. She's not within driving distance of any of us. So if we all want to go to Disneyland,
like a week trip.
Yeah, really. She could drive to Kansas City.
Yeah.
We all could get to Kansas City, which, Sean, thank you for the offer.
Yes,
of us
thank you, Sean.
coming to Topeka and crashing on your couch so we could all go to Planet Comic-Con together. I don't think you want us all on your couch.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mel would not mind. Shy might think we're like, who are these strange ladies that are in my papa's house?
You have 4 honorary aunties coming for a visit.
Yeah, really. I was say I don't think we'd mind becoming honorary aunties to Shy, but
No.
and we would like to meet the guys from Traveling the Vortex,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I don't think couch crashing is quite how we want to go about things. So,
Chrissy's
excuse
actually
me.
met 2 of the boys.
That's right,
Yes.
when she went to Gallifrey.
Yep. So, um, we'll keep the couch crashing on the back burner for now, Sean. That's a plan B, C ish. Uh, so yeah, to me, logically, the thing that would make the most sense is if we all got together at a convention somewhere. It would give us, kind of common ground to make things probably less awkward than, 3 of us descending on someone's house, the other person's home. Not that you guys are always welcome. I've
I mean,
got a
same here,
couch.
but I have no room for it.
Yeah. I've got a couch and my mom is close enough that if you don't mind dogs and 2 of you sharing a bed in the guest room, she could put up the other 2 of you. Or I can get an air mattress. So yeah, a convention would make the most sense. Obviously, I am partial to indie, especially PopCon. I'm a little biased in that case, but we do have an in with PopCon. I'm very fortunate that we get awarded press badges for PopCon every year. I've been getting 2 the last few years, so Chauncey can come with me to kind of be my helping hands. I'm sure Carl would not. I would hope not say no if I asked for 4. To cover us, because then that would help save cost right there, because that would get us in. We wouldn't have to worry about admission to the con, which would be nice. And I know Indy, I know my way around, I know where everything is, I know the people, I know the con, so I could easily play tour guide for you guys. Plus, it's just a fun con.
And also
But
timing.
that's just me. But yeah, it would come down to timing too.
Yeah.
So because I'm very flexible. Like I said earlier, I'm very fortunate that my job gives me the flexibility to go to cons, not just in Indiana. Obviously, I do as many indie ones as possible because it's convenient for me. But obviously, I have gone to other conventions like Cincinnati, and going to like the Women in Podcasting Festival in Chicago, and Lexington and other places like that. So I could fairly easily pack and jet off to somewhere, hop in the car and go somewhere if it's within reasonable driving distance. But it would also come down to timing for you guys as well. Holly, you work in education, so you have a school calendar to deal with. Brittany works on the weekends.
Yep.
And that's when pretty much every convention is.
Yes.
I still want there to be have a convention during the week.
Yeah.
One convention, that's all I'm asking. But I mean, not majority people don't work weekends, so it does make sense of why it's on weekends.
Yeah. They're catering to the majority with that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're in the minority. So, and Chrissy doesn't work weekends, but she also would need to, more than likely she would leave Alex with her husband, with his father. So Tiny would stay behind, but she'd have to make sure that Jared is fully prepared to watch the child on his own for several days while Chrissy is gone.
For some reason, I'm picturing Craig again, Snowmageddon.
So, so there's that to keep in mind. Obviously, where we would go would make a difference on what it would cost us. Driving is most of the time cheaper than flying, but not every place is within driving distance. To come to Indy, Chrissy would have to fly, Brittany would have to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Holly, that would be up to you on whether you want to drive or fly.
Yeah.
So, if we went to some place like Kansas City, I could drive to Kansas City, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm going through that direction later this summer for something completely unrelated. I think Chrissy, said that she could drive to Kansas City.
I would
fairly
definitely have
easily.
to fly to Kansas.
Yeah. But again, if we were flying for the two of you, we would need accommodations because, again, Sean, we appreciate the couch offer, but no. I don't know about y'all, but I need an actual bed. I am old. I can't camp on floors and other uncomfortable situations anymore. My rickety old back just won't let that happen anymore.
You and me both.
So,
Considering we are the elder states ladies of the podcast.
We are old. We need proper back support.
Yes.
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
Yeah. You're a young whippersnapper.
The first, yes, you the baby.
Yeah.
I am.
You youngster, you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a hotel room, probably a couple hotel rooms. I don't think we would mind doubling up.
No.
Two of us sharing, the other two sharing. So a couple of hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Obviously, we would pay for things like meals and that sort of thing out of our own pocket. We're all big girls. We all have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We do have money to our name, just not enough to.
Yes.
Just not enough to bankroll this entire endeavor, unfortunately.
Exactly.
So we could cover the things that would, we would not expect people to cover for us, but that's kind of the gist of what we're looking at. Is we need to figure out a place / event, make sure that it works timing wise. For all of us, especially Brittany, 'cause Brittany's got limited vacation time. So, and then figuring out what it would cost to get us to there and how much it would cost to stay there, and that sort of thing. So, I know obviously things like flights can vary wildly. As far as cost, so can hotels. Although if we were going to a convention, a lot of conventions, they'll do room blocks with hotels in the area and get cut people deals, convention rates, that sort of thing. That's what I did for PopCon Fort Wayne. So it ended up being fairly reasonable, which was nice. But that's kind of where we're at as far as what we need, I guess, and where we're at obviously we don't have solid numbers at this point, but just kind of, putting it out there and I've put this out there to my own personal, friends and family on Facebook asking for suggestions, is ideas. If any of our listeners have ideas for, hey, here's this convention that, I think would be a good fit for you guys, could you, imagine what kind of event coverage we could get with 4 of us on the feet on the ground, compared to just me trying to cover everything by myself for an entire weekend. We could get all sorts of things covered, although our fandoms tend to overlap quite a bit. So I'm sure we could deviate there a little bit, I think, depending on the content. But if any of our listeners have any great suggestions for, events or locations, if you've got fundraising ideas, that would be great. It says so far nobody that I've talked to has come up with any viable suggestions. You know who you are, but your suggestion for faking being sick and then miraculously recovering once you have all the money is not viable.
No, not really.
It was suggested in a very joking manner, but still. We would never do something like that. Don't ever do anything like that. That is bad and it is illegal. And you'll get in a lot of trouble.
Wrong.
And morally wrong.
Wrong, yes.
That too. Or if anyone happens to know anybody who's got a rich uncle, I don't know. I'm still waiting for some long lost rich uncle that I never knew I had to come out of the woodwork.
Yes.
And
yes.
be like, you don't know me, but I'm leaving you all of my riches. And call it a day.
Somebody invested some money for you in your name when you were an itty bitty baby, and guess what?
You hit the mother load.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that would be
Sadly,
nice.
that has not happened yet.
Nope. That has not happened yet either. So, yeah, we're looking for suggestions. And, if anything else, if we come up with an idea for fundraising, is that something our listeners would even be willing to support us on? If we were to do something like a GoFundMe or something like that, or something, if we could come up with something more unique, I guess. Would you want to support us in that manner? It's really easy to ask people for money. It's another for them to actually give it up. Obviously, this is a first world problem that we're discussing here.
Yep.
In the grand scheme of things, we're not struggling. Obviously the show continues on. We still keep in touch via the interwebs. That's how we all met in the first place anyway. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the power of the internet.
Yes, exactly.
But it's just one of those things that's like, we've been at this for so long.
Yes.
Although when I was having this exact discussion with someone at PopCon in Fort Wayne, they're like, it's like, because I was saying, we really should. I really would like to meet my fellow co-hosts, and he was like, or you could just see how long you could go without meeting. So when you finally do, it'll be even more epic. Like, well, yeah.
True.
That is true.
But
But at the same time, we're not getting any younger.
I feel like it's been long enough. I mean, like, it's been almost 5 years since we've been podcasting, but we've known
We've been
each other
friends
even
for
longer
even
than that.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. I know this was kind of the most random podcast episode we probably had in a while, but it was just you know shot off of our discussion that we had post recording last episode. It's been something that's kind of been festering in my brain for quite a while, but it's gotten even more prominent in my brain, right in between the sinus migraines. It's like sinus migraine, get us together, sinus migraine. That's my brain layout at the moment. Yeah, I got nothing else. Again, first world problems. We'll continue to do the show, no matter how long it eventually takes for us to end up in the same place at the same time. But if anyone out there's got any good ideas or connections of some sort, or something that we have not thought of, please send your information our way. We're really in the planning / research phase of things, I think.
Yeah.
We're not really on any set timeline, again, because we really would we need to figure out schedules and that sort of thing, and a lot of times with conventions you really don't know more than the next upcoming con. So like I know PopCon, they may not be in the summer next year, so they're toying with maybe moving it to earlier in the year, maybe, possibly. They've got a couple of dates that are open at the convention center next year. Carl was asking our opinion at the last podcast meeting that I went to, and he's weighing the pros and cons of keeping it in the summer versus maybe moving it to earlier in the year. But until they make that decision, I can't tell you when PopCon's going to be next year. So, if we did decide, yes, PopCon's going to be it next year, I can't tell you when it was going to be because they don't know yet. So it's things like that kind of make it hard to kind of really lock things down at this point. But if we know what our options are and we can weigh those options, then we potentially narrow it down. And if we narrow it down, that makes it easier to come up with a budget, and then from there figure out exactly how much money we actually need, and then go from there. So, or if anyone out there listening has got planning experience for stuff like this, I'm really good at planning, like trips and things. I could definitely handle figuring out flights and hotels and that sort of thing. I used to be a travel agent for a time in my life there, but if anyone wants to offer their help, preferably pro bono, because again, we have no money. Dear Disney, Let's start sending out tweets. Dear Disney, we are 4 friends who really, really, really like your products. We would really like to meet. Please bankroll sending us to a red carpet premiere of your choosing. Thank you. And good night. Yeah. Dear BBC, we really love Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Please bankroll our trip to Cardiff. Thank you and good night. We say that jokingly. I know we've made these jokes throughout the years of doing this show. We have made jokes about, someone needs to send us to a Marvel premiere, someone needs to send us to San Diego Comic-Con, or someone needs to send us to Cardiff, or someone needs to send us on a cruise. But this time, we're actually serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone out there wants to do that for us. We'll make it work, schedule-wise. Just saying. I know we laugh, but we're actually kind of serious. Please, thank you. You'd be our favorite. We'd tag you in all of our tweets for like the next year, even if it's not relevant. I don't know. I don't know how these things work.
Which is why we're asking you for help.
Yes, that's why we're asking you, our listeners, for help. I could plan the trip. It's just figuring out the financials and how to make this work is the part that we're completely lost on. So if you have suggestions, we need your help. We need your wiseness. So help us, O wise one. Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or our only hope. So there. That being said, if anyone has listened to our pleas and cries of help and wants to contact us, or you happen to be Kevin Feige and would like to contact us, we can be reached at fivishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also go to our website and find our other contact information, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our website is thefivishfangirls.com because we do own that domain. Doesn't cost us a whole lot, thank goodness, but we do own it. Also, links to other ways you can financially support us, including things like our Amazon affiliate link. Click on that and shop on Amazon, and we get a small, and when we say small, we mean small, but it all adds up eventually. Kickback from Amazon. It does not cost you any more, and if you're a Prime member, you can use that too. Get that free 2-day shipping. And it works no matter what you buy. It does not have to be, Black Panther on Blu-ray. You can buy socks, you can buy DVDs, you can buy car parts. That's where a lot of our Amazon money has come from, is my husband buying car parts on Amazon. It all counts. I need new headlights. There he goes.
I should sneak to my grandma's house, and because she orders Amazon all the time, so I just sneak and make it bookmark to the link, and she won't even know.
Exactly. I like that thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. That's the easiest way to do it too, is just make it a bookmark. Because then, if you're like, I need to buy something on Amazon, just click the bookmark and you're good to go.
So
Don't even have to think.
The app on the phone?
I don't think so. That's the only thing, is it only works on the actual website, unfortunately. So that's one downside. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, because it has to be that specific URL. And in the apps don't necessarily use the URLs. It's all built into the app. So, which is a darn shame.
It's I feel bad because I order stuff from Amazon, but I usually do it through my app.
Yeah.
But I try to remember sometimes when I'm on the computer. But
if you're doing the app, it makes it a little kind of a catch-22, unfortunately. Yeah. Something to keep in mind. If you're near the computer, go that way. If you have to do it on mobile, we'll forgive you this time. There's also the link to our Patreon. So if you would like to support us on a monthly basis for as little as $1 a month, you can do that on Patreon. Again, we are grateful to everyone who financially supports us, both by using that Amazon affiliate link and supporting us on Patreon. If you wish to buy merchandise, there's also the link to our shop on Redbubble, and I uploaded a ton of designs. At least it seems like a ton to me.
Yeah.
I uploaded a handful of designs over the last couple of weeks, including I've got designs up for every Doctor from Doctor Who, including the War Doctor. Could not leave him out. There is also a couple. There's a new design with our logo, but it's not just our logo, and a couple of other designs. So there's a little, and I've got still other ideas for other designs. So, but if you want something with just our logo on it, we have that. Or if you want something that's not our logo, we have some of that too. So, with more to come. In fact, I like I said, I need to figure out what I need to buy for the summer season, for convention season. So those are ways you can financially support us. Like I said, every little bit helps, and it does add up over time. It's just it's for what we want to do. It's not enough in the short term. You know, again, if we took the one person's suggestion and waited and dragged this out for as long as possible, eventually it would add up to enough. But if we waited till we had enough based solely on what we get from like Patreon and stuff, I think we'd be really old by the time we raise that amount of money. So, which is why we're asking for people's help and suggestions to speed up the process. So, and hopefully this episode's not been too rambly and weird. No. We do rambly and weird very well, though.
Yes, we do.
Should put that on a t-shirt.
Ooh. Good idea.
I'm on it. I'll write that one down. Rambly and weird. Okay. All right. Well, for anybody that's still listening at this point, thank you. God bless you. And we'll be back next week to talk about something. I gotta look at the calendar and see what's coming up. So, all right. Well, with that, let's sign off for this week.
This is Brittany and Bethlehem saying goodnight.
This is Holly from Wisconsin saying good evening.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Someone needs to come up with like angel investing, but not for like businesses, but for people like us, where you're not necessarily going to get like something in return product wise. We need angel investors. All they want are warm fuzzies and lots of thank yous. Someone get on that. Shark Tank for non-products. That's what we need. Send us money.
Listening to the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. You can find more episodes and information at thefivishfangirls.com. Any and all books, movies, games, and any other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied. If you wish to support the show, the easiest way is to leave us a rating and review on iTunes. More ratings and reviews will make it easier for others to find the show. If you wish to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/Fiveish Fangirls Podcast. All money goes towards fees and equipment to keep the show going. For official Fiveish Fangirls merchandise, visit redbubble.com/people/Fiveish Fangirls. We love hearing from our listeners and encourage feedback. You can email us at fiveishfangirls@gmail.com. You could also like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Fiveish Fangirls. Thank you so much for listening, and may the squee be with you.